So, hi everyone. Yeah, today we're doing our webinar on CiviPlus 101, how to register, engage, and nurture your members. So, I think we'll start with introductions. Who are we? Well, my name's Alex. I'm Senior Marketing Manager working with CiviPlus. And I'll hand you over to Patrick, who's going to introduce himself now.
Hi, I'm Patrick. I'm relatively new to working with CiviPlus, but I've worked with lots of different NGOs, particularly in East.
Oh, looks like Patrick's having some issues.
Hi, yeah, sorry, I was just saying I'm relatively new to working with CiviPlus, but I worked with a number of different NGOs and non-profits before.
Okay. I think that,
Particularly
yeah,
in East Africa. So I'll pass over now.
to Gary. Yeah.
Hi, my internet connection's a little choppy as well. My name is Gary White. I'm the U.S. Account Coordinator, and I'm based here in Austin, Texas. I'm the newest member of the team as well.
Yeah, good to see some new people and some familiar faces as well. So my name's Jack, and I'm the account manager at Compuco. So I'm based in the UK. I've been with the company for 2.5 years, and I work with all of the membership organisations and not-for-profits that we support from first point of contact, along with Patrick and Gary, through to their project end. So helping to facilitate with requirement gathering, demonstrations, and process improvement as well. So back to you, Alex.
Great. And yeah, just before we get into the meat of today's presentation, we thought we'd do a quick poll to see, just ask some quick questions. So I've just launched that. It should appear in front of you. So we like to ask everyone that, comes to these webinars, which database they use currently. We seem to get a lot of people attending from CiviCRM community, though we get people from other communities as well. We know we did the meetup recently, so some of you might be coming to us after that. And we also thought we'd ask about member portals, because that's going to be something we'll be featuring today, and just see what your opinion on member portals are. Well, or whether you have one or not. So I can see the answers are coming into that. So I'll just give it about 10, 20 seconds more. So put in your answers quickly, and then I'll share the results with everyone.
Yeah, I think 19 people have filled in.
Yep. Okay. Give it another 5 seconds if you want to put your answer in quickly.
There's a lot of people that are wishing they did have a members portal, which is interesting.
Yeah, so the results we've got here is that, yeah, we've got majority of people are in the CiviCRM CiviPlus world, which, is usual for the people that we kind of see around here. Though always happy to see people from other worlds, people who have other CRMs, spreadsheets, and also someone who's asked what a CRM is, which is always a good starting point. And in terms of member portals, yeah, Jack's right. Quite a few of you already have a member portal, but quite a lot of you are quite interested in whether you have one or not, and some of you aren't even sure if you have one. So that's yeah, we'll be talking about those more and showing you what's possible with one and what yours could possibly look like. But with that out of the way, let's get started. So we've got the agenda here, and now we're done. We're going to start with kind of what it is, what is it we're actually looking for when we're talking about, the kind of system that your team and your members want. What are they looking to get with kind of their digital infrastructure? So what your team want, they're looking for things that are going to mean less manual tasks and data entry. It takes its time. It'd be better if it were more automated. They also want a single source of truth, like a master database, rather than millions of different copies of, your data living everywhere. Just one place, it's right. This is the master copy. They want digital tools that make collaboration easier, so you can work together better rather than working in your own silos. Processes unified in one system. So rather than, all of your processes spread across, dozens of different systems, or however many different systems you're using, maybe different spreadsheets, put them all in one place, just easier to work with. You can deliver a great member experience. Everyone wants to make their members feel really valued, and they want it to be memorable. Of course, goes without saying, everyone wants a really secure and reliable digital infrastructure, something that's going to have that top-notch security. And of course, the powerful tracking and reporting that you will be looking for. So how does that work, and what can you get out of that? What do your members want, on the other hand? Well, they want easier payments. They don't want to, take a long time making the payments. It's just simple online payments are often what they're looking for. Or if they are doing a more complicated process involving invoices or whatever, how can you make that as easy as possible for them? They're also looking for more personalized content. So how can we make content really tailored to what they want? Again, tailored interaction. So it doesn't feel like a one-to-many approach. It is they feel like an individual, a valued member. Want simpler application processes. So this could be for your membership application, or it could be for any other applications you run. Maybe you run grants or something similar. Increased data security. Again, they care about their security too. Always a big topic nowadays. How can we ensure that that's top rate? What can we do to get quicker access to resources and services for them? So you, as a membership organization, might offer them all manner of different services. How can we show those off? And of course, self-service for basic queries. If they've got very basic queries that they want to ask you about, it's quite nice if they can self-serve, get those responses immediately rather than having to engage in email exchanges. And we'll be showing you a bit about how you might achieve that today. So with that kind of what people are looking for out of the way, let's move on to kind of the meat of the stuff. Jack, I'm going to pass over to you so you can do some introducing what exactly CiviPlus is.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. So yeah, just to introduce CiviCRM, which is a CRM, so constituent relationship management tool. So I have popped in the chat what that means and what that can do, but we're going to talk and share a bit more about that later on. So CiviPlus is a non-profit dedicated CRM, super powerful, easy to use from a user perspective and also from a member perspective as well with our membership portal, which we'll show a little bit of later on. It's all in one. So all of the key tools that you would need in a system, rather than fragmented spreadsheets or different CRMs, can all be built in and packaged up into one system for you. It's really cost-effective tool. So all your hosting, monitoring and maintenance all covered in a platform and super scalable as well. So it doesn't matter whether you're a small organization, grassroots, looking at getting started, or a larger organization managing a lot of members and memberships at scale as well. Because we do have a lot of CiviCRM community here today, a lot of you would have heard this from the meet a few weeks back, but CiviPlus is developed from CiviCRM. So obviously an open source CRM that's specifically been designed for the not-for-profit sector and has over 10,000 users worldwide. So CompuCo as an agency, we've been working as part of the Civi community. We're a big Civi contributor for over a decade. And we've done some great work with the community as well. And what that's enabled us to do is create CiviPlus. And what that does is it gets all of the best features, from what we've taken from what we've built and what the community has provided. And we've provided that with our CompuCo know-how as well. So all of the staff's know-how and experience. And we've packaged it up into an all-in-one dedicated hosting CRM platform that's really suitable for not-profits and membership as well. So just to talk a little bit about what can CiviPlus actually do. So again, I know a lot of people are CiviCRM users here, but for those that are not, so CiviPlus can manage all of your contact records, whether they are members, committee members, individuals, contacts, organizations, if you offer organizational membership, really flexible contact types built into the CRM. So you can manage all of those and report on all those as well. Of course, we can take payments. So whether that be for membership dues, event fees, donations, we can manage all that with our integrations with Stripe and Go Cardless. We can also track fundraising opportunities. So if there are any membership organizations on here that offer major donors, legacies, or just individual fundraising and gifts as well, we can also support that all in the platform. We can manage memberships, of course, otherwise we wouldn't be here today speaking to you all. There is events, CPD and conferences module built into the platform. And also we've done a bit of advancement around member additional discounts on events as well. There's a built-in drag and drop email builder. So for the users that are using Mosaico, that's built into the CiviPlus platform. For people that are less familiar with that, it's a really powerful drag and drop email builder that's very similar to MailChimp or MailJet if you've used that before. There's a case management module, a task dashboard for individuals like yourselves to manage your day-to-day, reporting and analytics on everything that I've mentioned so far and more, built-in surveys and petitions, so really useful for collecting feedback from members to see how they feel and also to see if there's anything maybe better you can do to service your members. Manage volunteers from application processes to recruitment, so you can track all the applications along the way. grant management built in as well. Whether you are grant giving or you apply for grants, you can manage both of those processes. There's a certificate generator, so really useful for membership or events or continual professional development. And then again, there's our self-service portal, which is a really powerful public-facing portal, which we will show you what it can do later on, but really good for membership specifically here.
Yeah, and thanks, Jack. And we'll kind of start today kind of really looking through some of the areas of the platform and what exactly they can do and what they look like. And, you know, for those of you who are already using Civi, hopefully it'll give you some ideas of things you might be able to do with it, which you might not already be doing. But we'll start with the very basics, always a good place to start. And we'll start with contact management. So very important to say, first and foremost, CiviPlus, Civi CRM as a database is a great contact management system, which means that you can get a 360-degree view on all your contacts. You can have different types of contacts. So whether it's your individual, whether it's your organization, whether it's a committee, you can do multiple different things. You can also manage all their different relationships and create them with different people. So Patrick will be demoing all of this to you in a second, so you'll be able to see what it's all like, but that's a fantastic thing you can do. You can also log all your activities against contacts, so you can see, you know, how you've interacted with them. You can have different permissions for different users. So, you know, with your different contacts, they can have, you know, specific access controls, so they can access certain things within the portal or wherever it is. Also GDPR ready, which is a great thing for your contact management. It's a GDPR preference center, which we'll be showing. And of course, you can do the all-important creating custom fields. And that's an incredibly flexible system. And you can report in them, you can search on them, you can do everything you would want with them. So probably better than me just talking through that, I'll let Patrick give a brief demo. And I think, Patrick, did you want to take control of the screen or?
Hi, everyone. I'm just sharing my screen here so everyone can see that I am logging in here as Sarah's staff member. So once we've logged in, we're going to see both the back end of Sarah's screen. So here, Sarah can see a number of different dashlets. These can be personalized to each staff member or each team. And then we're going to go in the top left-hand corner and search for John Redman, a contact who's part of the organization here. We can see some basic individual and key information, a summary of the key information. We can see his employer, the tags, whether he's a gold member, a volunteer, etc. And then on the side, we can see some tabs about some other, how John connects to other parts of the CRM. Here we've got his contact details with his emails. You can see his primary address, and then here we've also got access to his address. And also a useful area here is where you can share another contract's address. So here it's shared with his partner, but that could be a work address, a work location shared with colleagues. Here we have communication preferences. This is a GDPR preference center. So we can see we're going to click that John does not want to be phoned and does not, and then once that is saved, here we'll see that it will say to us not to call him on the phone. Then the next area is his mailing subscriptions, very similar. And then we have some custom fields, can edit those. I am not an Arsenal fan, but John here is an Arsenal fan and he is interested in tech and education. And those interest areas can be completely custom to your organization. The next section to go on to is relationships. So we can see here that John is an employee of JS and Sons, but he's also a committee member and a partner. And this, so then once we've clicked into JS and Sons, we'll be able to see that that they are two-way, these relationships. So this is now on the JS and Sons tab, and we can see relationships that it employs 3 people, one of whom is that John Redman. So if we go back onto John Redman and go back onto his relationships, we can see past relationships. So he has been a committee manager of the education committee, but that lasted kind of 3.5 years, and he's decided to move on from that. The next tab is activities. So that's on activities, we can see both automatic activities, so any email that has gone out to John, anything kind of automatic, and uploaded physically. And for example, this phone call, which is a meeting, and you can add notes from that meeting to his activities, and then any staff member can see what's happened. Here we have events. You can see that John has attended 2 events, a free event, which is the a free event, which is the AGM, and then a webinar, which costs £20. And then you can click in and see that he was a participant. And then here we've got contributions. We can see that he contributed £100 per year as his membership dues, but also he put a separate £10 donation in for that. Great. Thanks, guys.
So I will take the screen back. Thanks very much, Patrick. So that's the contact management, the very basics of the system, but of course also very fundamental for, like, I think everyone on joining this call is membership management, membership organizations. How do we manage our memberships? And it's very important to say that Civi is very capable of managing either individual or organizational membership. So you can do both or even a combination if that's what you do, because we know every single membership organization does something different, is what we've learned over our years. So you can do both free and paid membership. You can mix and match even there if you want to have different tiers. Have fixed or rolling membership. So you might have your membership which just kind of lasts as kind of like a discrete year period, or you might have one that kind of just keeps on going and going and going. So those are those things it can accommodate. As I just said, you can have multiple membership types, so different tiers of memberships, very easy to do within the system. Automated renewal emails. So this is something that not always gets remembered, but that's a really helpful thing that you can start doing with renewals to kind of automate and just kind of push those emails out earlier to get all your members to renew if that's how your system works. You can also make sure that the system can create the invoices for you, so you don't need to go and manually create all of them. It will just automatically generate them. You'll kind of set what the memberships kind of cost to sign up, and at that point it can generate invoices and send them out for you. Of course, there is also self-sign-up online and renewal, and we're going to be getting onto that in a little bit about how the self-sign-up works. There's also a direct debit option. So that's something we mentioned, go cardless, that can be within the system. So you can use that really, direct debits, I think possibly a bit more of a UK thing, but SEPA is kind of like the EU equivalent. But yeah, if you want to take monthly payments there, that's something it's capable of. And of course, there's also something where you can auto upgrade membership types, which you can create rules around that. And quite a common use case for that might be if you have a student membership, for instance, and you want it to upgrade at the end of a period, you can then turn it into, a fully fledged membership when they do their renewal. So you can have that all automated. Lots of functionality for memberships, because as we say, everyone has a different need in memberships. So I think with that said, Jack, you'll be talking through the membership demo we've got here.
Yeah, thank you. So we're at the membership dashboard, as you can see here. And if you want to create a new membership against contact record, it's really, really easy to do. So it guides you through this process. So if you want to link a membership to an existing contact record, which is John Redman, we can select the membership type within our CRM. Again, everyone has different membership types, so you would have your predefined membership types here. You can give the membership a start and an end date, of course, and automatic reminders and renewals could be handled through this as well using these dates. If we wish to record a membership payment, we can, and we can also do different payment types. So one-off payments using Stripe Express, or we can do offline payments and also direct debit payments as well. So the system can really easily work out whether you want to do an annual payment or monthly payments, for example. And also the system will work out and split out those payments for you automatically. The system can also handle automated emails to confirm and receipt to the individual who signed up for membership. And then if we click save and go to the individual contact record, what you will now see is that we've been guided through the membership sign-up process to create membership in the back end. And against the contact record, John Redman now has a gold tier membership with a start and an end date. And you can also see the auto renew is ticked here. Then if we go into the contributions tab, you will see that CiviPlus has worked out all of the payments that need to be taken over the 12-month period. The type of that is membership dues, and it will tell you the specific date as well. So Civi's super powerful in terms of doing different membership schedules, whether that be fixed, rolling, or prorated. And you can also handle different payment types. And I think the beauty of this from a membership manager is that obviously renewals can always be a bit of a headache, but the system can actually automate a lot of this process and save you a lot of time when renewals come around.
Yeah, great. Fantastic, Jack. So that is our membership management. Loads of stuff you can do in there. But of course, every membership journey starts with the registration, as in the title of the webinar. So how can you manage registration? Well, again, we recognize that lots of different people do lots of different things for membership. So we can manage both simple and complex processes. You can have your very simple sign up via web form, with payments. Of course, you don't need a payment, as we've said, but if you want to offer one. Or you can do a much more complex form with applications. And you can also do within that, you can save draft applications if you have a really involved application that you think your members or prospective members might want to come back to at some point because it requires several details from them. And as part of that, there's also an application manager in the CRM itself, which you can manage all of that in the back end. As part of this, you can then score and review all of their applications, both in the back end of your CRM as an internal reviewer, but also if you want an external reviewer for your process, probably more likely for a kind of grant application or something else, but you can have also a review section in the portal specifically for reviewers. Automated responses, of course, are a fantastic thing that we want for all of this. So you can get the email sent out saying, yes, you are actually a member. People expect those kind of things nowadays with the automation, and give them peace of mind to know, yes, I spent the money, I'm a member. And of course, one last thing that you can do is that you can see your status. So if you do one of these bigger applications, you could check the status in the portal, and I'll be showing what that would look like to check how, where are we in the process and what kind of stage are we at. So we'll be showing you a couple of examples today of how the registration process might look like. And Jack will be back for this first one, where we'll be showing you what's a very basic sign up, which is literally just a form and, you're signed up to be a member.
Brilliant, thank you. So so this is a basic example of a membership form. Again, we all have different examples, membership forms, where you can add different fields for this. So the individual can select the tier that they want to purchase, also their interests. They could also opt into a mailing list and group here as well. We've got Stripe integrated into that form, so you can see that the member can see how much they're going to pay. They can obviously fill in their card information here and click submit. What that will then do in the back end of CiviPlus is the process that I just walked you through a moment ago. It'll actually create that membership and log it against the contact record. So if you logged in as an admin into CiviPlus, you can see you've got a bit of a membership summary here and recent membership signups. So Alan Smith is the one that we've just filled in on that previous form. If we clicked into Alan Smith's contact record and we looked at his membership tab, you would see that Alan has now just signed up for a gold tier membership with a start and end date. And obviously the source of that is filled in because he's filled in the form. So really powerful in terms of both sign up from a member applying and also from a membership manager's perspective or an admin perspective as well.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, as we said, all of this can kind of in the background have an email that is sent out to the applicant as well, saying, you are successful, you now have your gold membership, and invoices or whatever can be sent out. But if you're doing a more involved application process, then some of you might not just do, a simple sign up form and that's it. You might want to vet people, approve them. So you can do something a bit more complicated as well with Civi. So I've got an example process here that you might want to look at, which is if we're doing the whole application submission, and I won't go through it all, there's a review perhaps going on, then some review of documentation, and then the final approved. Lots of different stages, lots of different things involved with this. So how can we handle that? Because, that might be something you want to handle. And so I'll take you through another quick demo, just showing you how Civi can do this within the system. And as you can see here, we're going to start off on the CiviPlus portal, showing more of that later, but we've got a whole application section here and we've got the draft saved, and you can see we've got the basic details already filled in here for Lucy, her address and everything. We can save a draft, we can save and continue. And if we go to the next page, you can see we can select which membership type. I'm going to choose gold. We can upload any supporting documentation very easily. You can have different file types as you like. Of course, at this point, you can put in custom fields that if you want them to come through onto your application, you can ask a lot more questions or whatever it is you might want from your applicants. So references here, for instance, or you can ask for a lot of documents if you really want to, but we've only got an example here of two. So we're putting in John Redmond, former colleague, just kind of put on the reference sections, and then we're going to submit the application. So once it's submitted, you can see on Lucy's end, it looks like it's received. She can see that. We're going into the dashboard now for the member application, which is the cases dashboard really. But we're going to, you can see all the different overview of all the different stages, all your different membership applications are in here. And Lucy's come through, so we're going to have a look and see what's happening with Lucy. You can see if we go down, the custom fields are loaded into the case and they're going to show up there. And we can change, say we want to put it into the document review stage just to see what that looks like. And if we go over back to the portal, we can see that it actually reflects that over there now. You can customize that, so it might show something different there. But you can see the file as well. If we go and look at the activities, this is where the file has gone to that we've uploaded supporting documentation, so we can analyze that as part of our documentation review. And here we can do a whole review of what's going on with Lucy and, do the internal review and say, yeah, I think it looks very good. I think Lucy's looks like a great person to be one of our members. So that's all happy. So we're going to mark it as approved. So we're going to save that. And then we can go straight through to Lucy's contact and see what it looks like if we go back there. So you'll see she's now got a tag, gold member, make it nice and visible, and she's actually got her active membership there. And if I refresh on Lucy's side, she is now an approved as an application, so she can see that. Again, you could change it to successful or something if you wanted to have something slightly different on their end. But, very powerful tool, lots and lots of capabilities there. And that's just a very brief example of all the different things it can do. So with that one demonstrated, I will move on to the engage and nurture section. So that's all the registration. How do we engage and nurture them? Well, I've seen a few questions in the chat, which hopefully Jack and the others have been engaging with, all about mailing and segmentation. So there is a very powerful mailing builder within Civi, as Jack's already said. It's a drag and drop email builder, so you can do, it's not just a HTML email builder, though there is one of those too if you want to use that for your purposes. You can use design templates and just kind of have pre-created templates if you use them quite frequently, so you don't need to recreate the whole thing every time. You can have an image library which can save all your frequent things that you put in your emails. You can easily segment all your contacts, so really important to segment them all and make sure that you're really, sending out the right messages to the right people. Mailing lists these mailing lists that are segmented can also be dynamically updated, so you don't have to add people bit by bit as they come in. The system can do it for you based on certain criteria. You can do different mailing reports, that of course is essential, and all your data is in one place. And I think that's a really important thing to say about Civi. If you've got an external mailing tool, I know I have in the past, you have to kind of get your spreadsheets, export them, put them in, or rely on sometimes, shaky integrations. Here, it's literally all there. You can just go and email your people straight away, no messing around. It's, just use the powerful groups that you've got within it. And also one thing that isn't here, but is worth noting, is you can use tokens. And tokens, for those of you not so familiar, maybe mail merge, some of you might know, are things that can just automatically load in people's details. So you could go, hi, contact first name, or you could put in someone's interest, you could put in what their membership type is, and really make that personalized step in an email that, makes it feel like you're not just typing something very generic and it is really personalized to each member. But we're going to give you a little bit of a demo of the mail builder, but before then I'll pass back over to Patrick, who's going to show you how some of the segmentation might work. And there's loads of ways this could work, but we'll just show you one here. Oh, sorry, Patrick, do you want to share your screen again? Yeah.
Great. So yeah, as Alex mentioned, before you might want to build that mail, here's a way that you can build a segmentation of your members and choose who to send an email to. Great. So we're going to go into Search Kit, and in Search Kit, we're going to go and look for members of this organization who have gold membership and are also young. So we're going to call that group Young Gold Members, and then we're going to search in all members, and there we're going to find members with membership type that is gold tier member, and then we're also going to search here, age is under 30. So once we've searched that, here they come. We've got here 4 members. You can see them. You can see that there's a 14-year-old. We're starting them young in this organization. And then next area here, we're going to add them to a smart group. So a smart group is really exciting. It means that anyone who then signs up for a gold membership at a later point who is under 13, they will be 30, they will be automatically added to this smart group. And then as people are older, as people in this group age up and get kind of going to age 31, they'll leave this group and they might become another part of another group. So we've added these people to the smart group Young Gold members, and we're creating it as a mailing list here. So once it's a mailing list, we're going to go through to the mailing section and open up a new mailing. And once we're opening up a new mailing, we are going to search for the recipients, and we're going to search for that smart group for Young Gold members. And as we can see, it is those 4 original members. Great. Thanks very much, guys.
And yeah, thanks, Patrick. Yeah, I will take back over the screen. And yes, well, that's kind of like how you start the segmentation. So, you know, want to first pre-select your groups, but we'll talk a bit more now about and show you a demo of how exactly the mailing builder actually works itself. So start here back in the group section. You know, you can do static groups as well if you want, if you just have a very specific group for events, but can of course make your dynamic groups, your smart groups, to really, you know, save yourself all the effort of constantly having to update them. But if we go into the mail builder, as you can see, we've got some example ones here, and we're going to have a look at one of our example mailing ones, you know, just one we made earlier, so it's a bit prettier than creating something by default. You can, you know, have an internal mailing name. You can do the from. You can have just choose your recipients. You can also do excludes as well as includes here. So if you want to exclude a specific subset of members, you can do that. The all important subject line below, of course, which you can add tokens into the subject line itself. But if we go over into design, then we can have a look and see what that looks like. So this is a template we've already got set up. And you can see you can make it look quite nice. You can do different things. You can drag and drop different bits and chop and change quite easily here. You can see if you go through to the style, you can do quite a lot in terms of customization with the colors. You can use your brand colors. You can also change the fonts up here. So if you have a Google font compatible font for your organization, then you can use that one in here too. And in terms of the content, you can see it's quite customizable. I can get rid of the buttons and get rid of the images. I can change quite a lot quite easily here. We've got the image gallery as well, of course. Lots of things that you can put in there, as we already said. You can do the testing if you want to test it beforehand, and you can send immediately or schedule it. And as Jack has put in the chat, you can also do some A/B testing as well if you so choose. And finally, not that we're going to go into it right now, but you can do all of the reporting you'd expect, clicks, opens, and that does mean, yes, you can see who has opened and clicked individual emails if you want to go into all of that. So really lots and lots of power there and lots of things that you can see. So that's a very whistle-top tour of the kind of what's going on with the mailing tool. But of course, Civi doesn't stop there. It's got more to show. It can also be your events management tool. So you can use it for all of your mailing like that. You can also use it for events. So you can create events of any type, of any size really there, or type. You can use it for both free and paid events. You can use it for online registration and payment. So you can do all of the steps. You haven't got to go to an external platform for any of these things. You can do all the automated emails to our participants. You can create email templates, so event templates. So every time you make a new event, if you've got events that you run quite frequently every year or tend to just be the same type of event, you don't need to recreate it painstakingly every time. You can just have loads of the details loaded in already. You can have it kind of track who's registered, who's attended. You can track all of these sorts of things there, and then, you know, make your nice reports afterwards. You can also do member-only events. So this is something that we developed and as an extension for the Civi community. But it's if you say want to only make sure some of your members can attend your events, only available to them, we can make it so if a non-member hits the registration page, it won't let them sign up. And that can also be limited to certain groups, segments. So you can think about how you could use that. But that's a really powerful tool. And of course, it's all in data. All the data from there is integrated back to your contact record. As you sort the side of the contact record, you can see the events and the contact, and you can look across them both. And that's a lot of information we've got through there. So why don't we talk through it a bit more with a video, and, so Jack can show you bit by bit what's going on. Oh, I think you're muted, Jack.
Apologies, if you could just pull that back. Sorry about that. I was muted.
Okay.
Yeah, so if we look at the events dashboard here and we go into the events module, you'll see that we can actually create events from a template. So once you've set up your template, it's really easy to do. You can specify the type of event, the campaign associated to it, the event title, of course, summary and complete description. And the thing you'll notice is it's very self-explanatory in guiding you through this as an admin. You can give the event a start and end date and the max number of participants that you wish to sign up for this. And then you can actually offer a wait list as well, which is quite a nice little feature. We've got this, do you wish to display in the members area, which we'll talk about a little bit later on. But if you do use our members portal, you can pull that public facing in there. You can use the search for addresses as well, which can also populate the event. You can do in-person and online events, of course, if you wish to. You can then go through to step 3, which is if you want to do a paid or free event. So you can do both here. And we can enable Stripe, like I mentioned earlier, or a pay later. So if you've got membership organizations who have a lead member who make the payment on behalf of all the members, we can raise an invoice after they've all attended the event. We can create the financial type. So when someone purchases a ticket, it'll be listed as an event fee for all your reporting. And then you can build out all of your different fee labels and ticket types. You can also do more complex price sets as well for like a ticket and a t-shirt. Then at the bottom, you can do discount by sign up. So early bird discounts, and you can add as many of those as you wish. And then this is the really crucial bit. So within CiviPlus, you can actually build out all of your own registration forms. Again, you can do this from a template as well to save you time when you go to do it the second time around. So here is where you can enable, if you wish people to be able to sign up more than one person, so maybe you're doing like a bit of a dinner or a conference. You can specify the registration screen. So this is all the information that the individual will see when they sign up. Here is all your registration forms that you can preview and edit. And it's a really nice drag and drop interface here. So again, very simple to follow and use to really build out specific registration forms for your organization. Again, you can capture all this every time people sign up. Then along the bottom, you can create your confirmation screens, your thank you screens. And again, the beauty of automation at the bottom, the system can actually send a confirmation email to the member or the individual that has signed up for this specific event. You can specify the name of the person that it comes from, the email address. And if you want to CC yourself, just so you know that it's gone out, then you can also do that. We've also done a lot of work around members only settings. So if you wish to allow only certain membership types to register for a certain event, you can actually do that with CiviPlus as well. So really useful. And the system can then prompt them to upgrade their membership if they need. And then again, another really great feature on the touch of automation is schedule reminders. So you can build out as many different scheduled and automated emails here as you wish to, specify the date in which it goes out. Again, on the theme of templates, to save time, you can use templates, give it a subject line, add an image, and then mail merge fields, which are called tokens in CiviPlus for that personalization touch at the end as well. So like I said, you can add as many here as you wish to, and you can actually specify them to go out to different roles within the event. So if you want the person leading the event to get a certain email, or the individual that's registered, or the member, you can set that all up yourself as well. So you can just see me editing all 3 of these, and they're all going out to different roles at different times from the event. So I'll just let this run through. Then if you wish to allow people to tell a friend, we can enable that. And that just helps you obviously get the promotion for free from your membership for these events. So they can tell a friend the suggested message that you would like, and also the link for them to then register themselves if you did an open public event. And the same for personal campaigns. So if you wish to enable personal campaigns, you can do so. And then repeat events. So if you run events regularly throughout the year that are very, very similar, you can specify in the future the date that this event will renew, and then people can obviously sign up for that regular event. Really useful for if you run the same event, same time every week, and you just want to change the date and time, and all the information and registration forms are the same. So that's very high level overview of events, but super powerful module, and it's obviously a pleasure to have it built into CiviPlus as well.
Thank you, Jack. Yes, yeah, lots going on there. And it's at this point we're going to finally get to the long-promised membership portal. So what exactly is within it? Well, lots of different things are within it. First, we'll start with some of the very basics, and actually really useful stuff is that members can go onto it to update their own personal details. So this is a public facing portal. So it's an interface any of your members could log into. It's connected to your backend CRM, but they can't access your CRM. They can just connect to the portal part of it. So it's very integrated, but they just see this interface and can only do certain things within it. So update their own personal details, very useful, saves you having to, have an email exchange every time they change address. You can put your announcements and any news on there. Your members can also manage their own membership there, so they can see all their renewal dates and all of that. If you want to change the, how they're doing the payment, put all of that within there. Can put all of your public facing events on there too for them to sign up to. Obviously, you can put them on your website as well, but this is a nice interface where they can just go in there and book directly on. You can also access any invoices. So really useful kind of feature if people are going to come onto your system and want to get the invoices. Maybe they want them because they're, an organization and need them for their records. Maybe they want to get their employer to pay their invoice, because it depends on what kind of membership you're offering. So that's kind of very useful little feature. Then, of course, there is branch and organizational member management. So this is a really useful little feature we put in. If you have little branches as part of yourself, or you have different organizational members and you really want to see who's a member of, who's a part of each of these, you can really go down into the depths of it. And it'll probably be easier to just show what it is, but you can manage that. You can mail out these people. You can have any documents associated with it. Really powerful for those of you who have organizations under you. A whole membership directory. So important to say this is an opt-in thing, but if you want to have a whole collection where people can see the different members of your organization, you can do that. CPD tracking, so that's continuous professional development. So for those of you who are, doing something with that, or thinking of how could I track this better? How can we do this? It can do all these sorts of things. It can also automatically track, assign CPD values to events and lots of different things within that kind of module. And finally, there's a committee space. So if you have committees, again, you can have your finance committee, your boards, or whatever it is that you need. You can put those up, or chapters, lots of different names you might want for them, and have kind of meetings, documents, and just really keep on track of how those are going to work within the system. But I think probably the best way than just listing some of the features is really just to take a look at it. And I know we had a brief look at it earlier, but we're going to go on a whistle-stop tour through the portal now. So what exactly is it? What are some of the features that you can see within it? So we'll start on the dashboard. And as you can see, there's a lot of things here that Rebecca can see on her dashboard. But where we're going to start today is that what I said about updating details. So you can see she can update lots of things here. You can add all sorts of custom fields if you want here. At the top, you can see you've got communication preferences, what she wants to put in the membership directory, but really that is very customizable to what you want them to be able to update. Here's the news section. You can populate that yourselves. You can kind of tailor it towards what different people see. Events, you can book directly into events here. It will say if there's a waiting list, so you can see, so members can see that automatically, and they can also have date filters. So maybe they want to see if there are any events in a specific time period. Committees, you can have a look at that section. There is, if you want to put your documents there, you can see all the different members who are parts of your committees, and if there are any upcoming meetings for that committee. Memberships, as I said, you can see the renewal date, you can see how it's paid, and you could switch it if it was, something that wasn't paid that way. Invoices, lots there. You can just directly pay for your invoices. You can download them from here as well, as I said, as a PDF, and you can open them up, just open up one, so kind of automatically generated, and you have control of what this template looks like in the back end of your CRM, but all the details are filled in. Certificates, another thing we didn't really talk about there, but it is something you can do within the system. So here we've got a membership certificate. This is an example one that we've made. You could make a much prettier one, but this is an HTML template that we created, and you can make your own and it will generate all the details in there if you want it for some reason. And we'll go to the CPD section. Very, lots you could say about this, but you can see you can set the targets that someone should be aiming for. You can see the time period. You can see all the different dates, filter dates, and kind of really nail it down to different pits. You can export. You can add over different categories. You can put evidence on here. You can link it through to applications. There is a lot of functionality underneath this. So if that does sound interesting, yeah, probably worth talking to about it further. But my applications, we've shown this one a bit earlier as to what it's like. You can see all the statuses, you can see all the application types, and you can filter down, for all the ones you've already put in and see where there's different stages if you put in a lot of applications for some reason. My organizations, this is the kind of branch membership area. So you can request to join or remove yourself from various ones, but also if you manage them, you can see all the contacts in one place. And if we go into this branch, you can see a basic summary. We can see all the members. And from this screen, you can also email anyone that you've got the email address of. So that's really useful. If I want to remember all my local email all my local members, you can do it from here. If you're kind of managing just the local branch and see any documents associated with the branch. The members directory, so you can see we have a few people in here. Tony Stark, some of you might be familiar with him. You can put a longer bio in here if you want, but yeah, you can really get some basic details about all the different people in your organization. And finally, the review applications section. So we mentioned earlier that you can do an external review if you want. So if you want to have a portal interface for it instead, it's all what we saw earlier in the internal, but you're doing it here just in the portal. So this person doesn't need access to the CRM, but really useful if you're using some external reviewers. And so, yeah, that is a very whistle-stop tool, but lots and lots of functionality there. So if any of you are, have any questions about that, I'm sure we'd be happy to answer, but lots going on there. And yeah, that is really where we're going to say, well, that's how you can nurture and engage people. Lots of different tools for the nurturing and the engaging. But what if we want to bring it all together at the end? Well, the most important thing when you want to try to bring it all together is having a really robust reporting tool. And Patrick showed a little bit off. So the search kit that we used for the kind of segmentation is also an incredibly powerful reporting tool, but there are lots of really easy and comprehensive ways to do reporting within the system. You can obviously track all your membership statuses very clearly. You can do report templates as we've seen for mailing. Well, we saw they were there. And you can also do it for events, all the different things that you might want. Put all the key reports and dashboards as we saw on the homepage. Any custom fields that you can search and report it on, you can make them very viewable. So it's not, some fields just aren't reportable on if they're custom fields. And of course, if you want to build something out a bit more custom and a bit more specialized, we do have over 100 templates to start off with. So there is, you don't have to generate everything yourself, but if you want to build something really specific to your organization and how you think and how you do things, then that is very possible. But yeah, lots of functionality there. So kind of to really sum up everything that we've shown off today, what exactly is it that CiviPlus can offer to really help you register, nurture, and engage people? Well, we've talked about automation quite a lot. It really helps you do your tasks quicker and automate them in lots of different ways. It provides this unified digital experience. So everything is on one platform here. It's not kind of trying to talk to another platform where you have to do some awkward download transition between it. You can have very personalized member experiences from those tokens we discussed to giving them the portal or whatever it is that we're doing. You can have the really simple finance tracking and reporting. So as your revenue is coming in, you can see that on the system very clearly. You can really then flesh it out with the reporting tools and kind of report that to your board or whoever it is you're reporting it to. You can empower and connect your members. So we've got the membership directory, of course, but there are lots of different ways we can do that, the events. And again, it's just how do we get members to have more power with the self-service, etc. And painless renewals. So we make the payments super easy. We can make those automated emails out to them. Renewals are very, very important. We want to make sure we don't miss that date. How can we make it as quick and painless as possible for our members, and for us, frankly. And at that point, we can really, make sure that we never miss those. And so with all of this said, I'm going to pass back over to Jack, who's going to talk a bit about the first steps on the journey.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you, Alex. So just wanted to basically give you all a high level of the costings of CiviPlus and how we've kind of packaged it up for the market. So we've got two different types of pricing model for your ongoing platform fees. We've got the contact-based pricing model, which is tiered on the number of contacts and the number of users, and you can scale that up as you need as a starter. And then you can also grow the platform as well, which would obviously increase your platform tier. So the starting cost for CiviPlus for everything that we've just showed you, including the portal, all of your hosting, monitoring and maintenance, security updates, and the CompuGo know-how, starts at £50 per month, which is super affordable. and it includes up to 1,000 contact records, whether they be members, constituents, stakeholders, whatever they may be, and up to 5 users, so 5 backend CiviPlus admin users. Then we've also got a user-based pricing model, which is a lot more tailored to quite small organizations from a staff perspective, but have a lot of contacts or constituents. So for example, we work with a organization and charity who do a lot of fundraising in the US. They've only got about 3 staff or team members, but they've got like 200,000 contacts that they work with for donations as well. So that's sort of the pricing model for those guys. And it starts at £67.50 excluding VAT per month, and that gives you access to unlimited contacts and again all the features that I've just shared with you a moment ago. So yeah, just to sort of close off, and obviously with very high level, we showed you a lot of features today. CiviPlus has a lot more out of the box, and again, you can check out our CiviPlus website. But just wanted to say that obviously Gary is based in the US, Patrick is obviously based in the UK. So if you do have any questions, you're more than welcome to reach out. But Patrick and Gary will be reaching out to you all in the sort of coming days just to ask if you've got any questions or would maybe like a personalized demonstration. Of course, no pressure. But if you do have any questions, obviously you can either direct it directly to our inbox, or these guys will be sort of giving you a little follow-up email in the coming days anyway.
And yeah, thanks, Jack. But if you are interested in our next webinar, then our next webinar, and I'll put it in the chat, will be more charity focused. So there'll be quite a lot of similarity and crossover with what we said we're talking about today. But at the same time, it'll be more charity focused. So, you know, you won't be hearing as much about membership applications and all that kind of thing. It'll be more about donations and how all that works. So if your organization has something to do with that, it could also be interesting. And of course, we'll be running more webinars throughout the year on different themes. So keep an eye on our, mailing and all the contact channels and see what comes up next. But with all of that said, does anyone have any extra questions? I see Jack's been busy in the chat answering quite a lot of you, but does anyone else have any questions on top of those? Welcome to put them in the chat, or you can just like chime up in voice if you'd rather.
Yeah, no problem. Don't mind sticking around for a little bit. We got great presentation. Thank you, Alex. So yeah, big shout out to you, Alex, for putting that together. And
thanks you, Jack, as well, and Patrick for also your presentations. Doesn't look like any questions then. Well, I'll turn the recording off then. Thanks very much though for attending, everyone.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys.